everyone, welcome back to the Green Witch Homestead. So today I'm going to walk you through garden tour, first garden tour of the year. This is basically, we've got some stuff set already in planting stages. I'm going to show you where some of my cool weather crops are. So first I'm going to show you my lettuce. They're all ready to go. These are the plugs. Didn't unfortunately record transferring them over, but if you remember I started in the little plugs and then the individual plants. They're all potted up and grown out a little bit and they're ready to go into the green stalk. I did get a green stalk this year. I'm kind of excited to try that out. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, you'll get to see how it goes. I haven't got the soil to fill it up yet, so that's why the lettuce is still sitting in their trays. But they are outside and they've been fully hardened off. And you'll have to ignore some of the clutter. It is still the very beginning of garden season, so a lot of things like fence posts and containers are being set up and they're just kind of laying around. So this is gardening. So we'll start off here in the front by my seeding area. This is my little flower bed garden. I did cut flowers last year. I've got some have come back. You can see them right there is my violets and my colorful yarrow. And then I planted some bulbs and stuff over here. I got a little kale tray started. There's my purple cream iris. I'm hoping it'll bloom this year. Last year was first year in, so it doesn't always bloom the first year. And then some pretty little tulips. I will be putting more cut flowers in here, zinnias mostly, and probably some cosmos. On the other side is the herb garden, which as you can see looks basically like a bed of weeds because, well, it is a bed of weeds. Moving over here, we've got our two little planters that go by the gate. They haven't been planted yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in them. Some sort of climbing vine. Over here is where my banana bed is. I've got more bulbs that you see up front. Fingers crossed that the bananas come back this year. They should. Here in Missouri, we can grow the cold hardy bananas. We don't get fruit off of them, but I don't grow them for the fruit. I grow them to use the leaves for cooking and stuff like that. I did get them in last year and they got fairly good size. We used a couple of the leaves, but last year was my first year with them, so this was my first overwintering. I followed all the instructions and like I said, my fingers are crossed because we got that crazy last minute cold this year. So I'm hoping it didn't get too cold to kill them off because it got colder than it should around here. And this is my asparagus bed. There's a couple leeks in there that overwintered. I didn't realize they were still in the ground, but yeah, free food. And down here we have the two long beds, which we did tomatoes in these last year, tomatoes and kale. These tomatoes shade these ones out in the morning and these tomatoes shade these ones out in the afternoon, so they weren't getting a full day's worth of sun. So we're putting tomato beds in over here, which I talked a little bit about last season. I've got one bed set. They don't have any dirt in them yet. The other two beds still have to be put together, and they're gonna go here in that direction, and then that way the sun will come across them from this end of the bed to this end of the bed, and nobody should shade anybody out. I've got onions in this one with broccoli down the center, and then this bed has spinach right about here, and then I've got cabbage that's going to go all along this side here on the back side, and then I'm going to do a strip of beets right there. They are under cover because we are still getting pretty close to freezing at night, so I put this is just a fabric cloth, and it just keeps the frost off of them. They're all cold hardy plants. I'm not concerned. We got the last two onions from last year's onion crop right here, and I'm gonna let them go, use them for green onions until my other onions start picking up. My garlic bed, as you can see, is doing really well. I've got about 200 heads of garlic in there this year, and across from that, under this cover, we've got more onions and kale in this one under cover. And then moving down here, we're getting a little more into the still being cleaned area. This bed here, we've got cauliflower in it. This is going to be an experiment for me because I've never grown cauliflower before. I really like eating it, so I figured I'd give it a try. I've got regular cauliflower on that side of the bed, and then on this side of the bed is purple cauliflower. Purple of Sicily, I believe it's what it's called. Over here, this bed is still needing to be cleaned up and amended. I'm actually going to take the soil out of this one here and sift it, because I've noticed as it settled it was really rocky. It was at the bottom of our compost pile last year, so that's probably what happened. So that's got to be completely pulled out and sifted. And then there's nothing in here. I will plant peas along this edge again, my sugar snap peas. They grew really well there, so I'm going to do that again. I'm probably going to do in this bed, I'm going to do carrots or maybe corn. I haven't decided yet. I do have 2 beautiful rhododendrons that I put in there because we are going to be, excuse the junk pile right there. That little spot is a concrete slab, and we're going to be putting in a little stand right there to sell some of our produce from. So I've put the rhododendrons there to kind of grow up alongside the stand. And as you can see, I do have some self-seeded lettuce and kohlrabi that came back and overwintered and are growing, so I might actually get to eat some of that pretty soon here, which is always fun. And then again, we're back over here on the empty side where our new tomato beds will be going, and they will be about 9 feet long, and we'll have 3 of them. And of course my front section where all my roadside flowers and stuff go, you see I did put some bulbs in here, grow along the stairs, and they're all coming up, so I'm super excited about that. I've got to replant all these planters soon and everything, make this all pretty. We're gonna actually get some railroad ties. We got permission from the city because technically from here to the road is city property, it's the easement, but we got permission from the city. As long as we take responsibility and maintain it, we can put garden space here as long as we keep it pretty looking. So we're gonna get some railroad ties and kind of shore up that edge because it's a pretty good drop down into the ditch. And then we're gonna put some more mulch in there and a little bit of soil and do it all pretty with flowers and stuff. So that's about it for my vegetable garden, my vegetable patch. Like I said, this garden up here is our food garden. So we grow what we eat, and we grow portions of everything that we do in the market garden we put up here to have on show. It is still early season, so we do have most of our cold crops in. A lot of these beds back here that'll have the cabbage and broccoli and onions, that'll get changed out when they get harvested. So they'll come out about mid-June, and then we'll do some warmer crops like melons and cucumbers and beans, and all the other good tasty stuff will go in these beds. So this is my project for the next couple days. This is my herb medicinal tea garden area. Just got to be cleaned up and tidied. My lemon balm is right here. It's all starting to come back. I've got blueberry right there, some goji berries, my oregano is coming back. My sage right here has come back. Right here, I planted some flowers, and I think that's them. I'm not 100% sure, so we'll have to wait and see. I will be doing some more basil in this open space here. I always have my little irises in the corner, my raspberries, my lemongrass over there. I'll put more basil on the other side of the lemongrass. My mother's wort has come back. I'm kind of shadowing it there. However, unfortunately, I did lose my rosemary. She did not survive that extra cold snap. I forgot about her. I forgot that I had her out here, and I did not cover her, and she did not make it through that cold. So I'm gonna have to start over with my rosemary. I mean, I'll leave her there for a little while. She might bounce back, who knows? Rosemary is kind of weird like that, but I probably will have to replace her this year. All right, so if you remember, I had told you we put the pigs back on this side to turn all that straw back into the soil to get everything ready for gardening season, and they did. So it's been raining here the last couple days, so that's why it's really super slick and muddy. Once this settles down a little bit, we're gonna let it sit, let it dry out a little bit, and then just give it a quick turnover, and then this will be a new garden bed ready to go, and from that point on it'll be a no-till. They've gotten all there's nothing left in there but dirt and soil and pig poop and manure, and I'm gonna add a little bit of compost to it when we turn it, and then I'll have a whole new garden bed. And we just moved them out of there 2 days ago. We made a bigger spot for them on this side because they are getting bigger. All right, so this was the other side of the stairs that we moved the pigs to on the second run, where you can see the corner of the concrete. We had to run across there, and it was just that small space for them to clear out, and they did a pretty good job on that. We did put them back over on that side to finish that out, and now we've got them back over here, but we've extended the paddock because they've gotten much bigger. We're gonna see if we can sneak up on them because they're sunbathing. So we've extended the paddock for them out and around. Hi, big pigs! Out over here. As you can see, hi, babies! And they are enjoying laying in the sunshine. And they've got all of this new space. This was actually 2 days ago. This was pretty much tall grass like you see on the other side of the fence there. That's what it looked like. But yeah, so they've done a number, and they will turn this up and pull it up and do the same thing that they did on the other side. So this is their new space here. They're playing. We have this whole exposed basement, and it's just a jungle around it, so that's what we're doing with the pigs. So that's what we got these pigs for, aside from eating, because these guys are our breeder pigs. So we won't eat these ones. They are here to provide us with piglets so that we can raise up for butchering. Other than just providing meat, they are doing us another service, which is clearing our property. So these particular pigs, aside from being some of the best pork in the world, they are foraging pigs. So they will eat greenery, kind of like goats. But they're better than goats, in my personal opinion, because they turn up the dirt and get the roots as well. So we will continue to move the paddock around the property and let them clear small sections at a time. Now that they're getting bigger, we'll only keep them in this size paddock for about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe less. We'll see how fast they get to that area. Once they get the underbrush done, we can come back through and trim up the trees like we've done here, and then get everything all cleaned up. And it'll be awesome. So it's pretty crazy how quickly spring creeps up on you. Just a couple weeks ago, actually just a week and a half ago, we were under snow and had freezing temperatures, and now we're putting plants out in the garden and getting ready to start growing our own food again. Last little update on all of my warmer weather frost tender crops. These guys are pretty much, as soon as it's warm enough, I'll go out into the garden. There's eggplant, basil, other stuff like that. My tomatoes over here still need to be thinned out. There's some peppers. These tomatoes have all been thinned out and potted up, and I'll have a video coming out on that one soon. So thanks for tagging along with me through my garden tour. I can't wait to start doing these on a weekly basis so we can watch how everything grows and the garden changes day by day here on the Greenwich Homestead. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe if you want to follow along. And remember, keep your hands dirty.